Hey y'all, Martin Pinal here. I'm here to talk to you guys about radio, television, and film, or RTVF. In your 9th grade year, you will cover the history of radio, television, and film. And you will learn things like how to break down movie shots, the rules of thirds, and learn the basics of the camera. During your 10th grade year, you'll shoot and edit your own short films. You'll also take an audio course where you'll learn how to record and edit audio for podcasts, movies, soundtracks, and music albums. Your junior and senior year, you will advance in the audio course as well as become a member of the Skynet news crew. Skynet is a daily school news program broadcast in every classroom here at Skyline. We have featured sports, student opinions, and school events, and special segments like Martin Facts. Plug, plug. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. I'll see y'all later.
I'm Liz Graciela, and your Skyline Scoop starts right now. Good morning, Raiders. Let's get right into it. Friday is the last day to sign up for the Dallas County election, so go sign up before it's too late. Student Senate is still accepting clothes for the homeless, so keep bringing them. Also, the librarians came out to tell us some more about some of their great books. Let's take a look.
What's up, Skyline? It is your friendly neighborhood librarians here, Mrs. Broomhall
and Mrs. Bass.
And we're here to share a great series with you for the month of January. It's called The Lunar Chronicles, and there are several books in the series, and it's essentially a sci-fi book, and it's futuristic, and it's set in Beijing, China, and it follows the story of a girl named Cinder who has stepmom and stepsisters, and Cinder is blamed for one of her stepsister's illnesses that ends up killing her, and so she has to kind of battle that, but the rest of the series also follows along with some of the other fairy tales, including Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and also Snow White. So this story, it also has cyborgs and robots and a race to the moon for colonists to coexist there.
Las Crónicas Lunares es una serie de libros escritos por Marissa Meyer. Los volúmenes futurísticos son basados, pues más o menos, en unos cuentos clásicos como La Cenicienta, Caperucita Roja, Rapunzel, Blancanieves. La historia tiene lugar en un mundo futurístico donde conviven humanos, cyborgs y androides y una raza de luna. Y Cinder es el primer libro y la reina observa cómo la peste lo va devorando todo y ella quiere conquistar el planeta. Cinder es una mecánica y también un cyborg. Tiene 16 años, se encuentra con un príncipe, hay amor, hay guerra, un poco de todo. Es bellamente entrelazado entre la justicia, la fantasía y el amor. Y es solamente uno de los cuentos, hay que ver los demás. Tenemos varios como Winter y Scarlet y muchos más. Vengan a la biblioteca para buscar un libro.
And another super exciting thing about this book series is that the author will be at the North Texas Teen Book Festival this March. And if you're interested in going, be looking for some information out around school.
La autora también está en Texas en marzo. Va a estar en un festival de libros de los jóvenes y les invitamos a buscar más detalles en la biblioteca. Vengan a conocer la autora también. Muchas gracias y adiós.
Adiós.
Let's check out the weather for today.
Good morning, Skyline Raiders. I'm Clarissa here with your weather for today. Monday, January 27th. It's going to be a partly cloudy day with a high of 63 and low of 48. And tomorrow it's going to be scattered showers with a high of 64 and low of 45. That's all we have for today, Raiders. Check in next time for more weather with Clarissa.
Now for keeping up with Amy.
Hi guys, it's Amy from Skyline, and today I'm here with Nubia. So tell me, Nubia, what is your favorite corny song?
Barbie Girl.
What about you? What's your favorite corny song?
The Minions, Banana, the Banana song.
What about y'all? What's your favorite corny song?
Baby Shark.
What about you?
What did you say? Bubble Guppies, the theme song for Bubble Guppies.
What about you?
I like Baby Shark.
What about you? What's your favorite corny song?
Jalapeno.
How does it go?
I wanna smell a jalapeno. Yo.
What about you?
Well, my favorite song, corny song, would be Baby Shark or Barbie Girl because that's my stuff right there.
Yeah, Barbie Girl. Yeah, that's good. What about you? What's your favorite corny song?
Baby Shark, #1, bro. I'm telling you, 100 Billboard. I'm telling you.
Sing it to me.
Baby Shark, do 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 do, babe.
Here's your A segment.
High school is one of the most memorable times of a teenager's life, but it can also be one of the most traumatic, full of peer pressure, insecurities, and all the unknowns of being in a relationship. To add to the confusion, the media often glamorizes unhealthy relationships. In fact, the worse a celeb relationship is, the more media attention it may get. From tabloid magazines to reality TV shows to what's on the daily news, and often what they see in their own families. Teens are surrounded by negative images of relationships during these very impressionable years.
I've heard people talk about boys having anger issues, like boys who punch walls, boys who yell, boys who get angry and feel like they have to hit something. They punch a hole in a wall. And I've heard girls say that, oh, anger issues are hot.
Alex Watson was a student at the community school when he had his first serious relationship, and it wasn't a positive experience.
We were both immature and new to relationships, and we didn't really know what to do. So we would frequently overreact to simple situations by getting angry at each other and not listening.
Like most teens, Alex just didn't know the signs of a healthy relationship.
A lot of people, I think especially at my age, see infatuation and sometimes unhealthy behaviors as just a sign of love.
It's important for teens to learn about healthy relationships because they're bombarded with so much misinformation and miseducation about relationships. For many teenagers, they find themselves in really unhealthy situations with little or no information or resources to really understand how potentially dangerous their situations can be in.
Those situations range from unhealthy to violent. Think about a high school student you know, then consider this. 1 in 3 teens reports knowing a friend or peer who has been hit, punched, kicked, slapped, or physically hurt by their dating partner before they graduated from high school. And approximately 1 in 5 female high school students report being victimized, physically and/or sexually abused by a dating partner. Leslie from Palmetto Ridge High School was one of those statistics.
I've been a victim of domestic violence and I've been in an unhealthy relationship. I was about 8 years old when I first witnessed domestic violence in my house. My dad would beat my mom and I would get between it so that he would stop, but it just kept going on from there.
In high school, the cycle continued when Leslie found herself in a relationship that was unhealthy, although she didn't realize it at the time.
He would try to control me and there was no trust, there was like no honesty, or like he would tell me what to wear and like who to hang out with and who not to hang out with, telling me like what time I had to be home and like the friends that I was able to have and that I wasn't able to have just because he didn't like them.
With help, both Leslie and Alex eventually ended their unhealthy relationships. Leslie found help at the shelter, and Alex's friends helped open his eyes.
And once you see the warning flags of being obsessively controlling, and constantly being angry at one another and just not acting in respectful manners. You need your friends to help you realize that, because you're going to be blinded by your attraction to the other person. Your parents are somewhat helpful, but it definitely stems from your peers.
The shelter recognized the need for teens to educate their peers about healthy relationships and created the Youth Advisory Council, often called the YAC. With representatives from both public and private schools, this group of students come together from throughout Collier County.
The mission of the Youth Advisory Council is that they're really supposed to be our ambassadors and agents of change in the community. They're supposed to represent the shelter and its mission, as well as its programs and services in our schools and with their peers.
We all work together to try to come up with ideas to promote awareness about teenage abuse and relationships.
We come together to bounce ideas off of each other, to work with the shelter, to come up with programs for youth in schools, mostly to educate students about the realities of domestic violence and of teen dating violence.
The YAC is a diverse group, ranging in age from 12 to 20, and includes both boys and girls on the council.
It's a co-ed issue, it's not just a female issue, it's a relationship issue, and that needs to involve both parties. A relationship is a partnership, and this is about both partners being there for the right reasons and being vested in making this a really healthy situation.
For teenagers, their peers often have the most influence on them. In a recent study, female high school students were asked whom they would talk to if someone they date is attempting to control them, insults them, or physically harms them. Only 7% said they would talk to police, but 86% said they would confide in a friend.
I think it's important for teens to use their voices to educate other teens, because teenagers listen to teenagers. They tend to see anyone over the age of 21 as old, and they relate much better to their peers.
And the ability that teens have to spread things through word of mouth and through their own social influence, I think is a great asset.
Their peers are going to come to them before they're going to come to us for services, and they really need to be educated and informed and be able to provide accurate information and referrals.
I think it's important to inform our peers about unhealthy relationships and about the shelter, because that way they know that they're not alone.
The Youth Advisory Council's first year was a busy one. They meet monthly and have created a logo, t-shirts, lanyards, a Facebook page, and are assisting with the shelter's Healthy Relationships presentations in public schools. They've also created a rack card brochure to hand out at schools and malls with vital information about relationships and where to find help. The YAC has also created a powerful public service announcement that is airing on local cable channels to spread the message about what love is and what it is not. Teens are starting to hear the message and to use their voices to help their friends and themselves.
Being in the YAC helped me learn that being in an unhealthy relationship isn't good. You're not supposed to accept no type of violence from anybody, no matter the reason. I've also learned in the YAC and the group that I was in with the counseling and stuff that it's not our fault and that it's the abuser's choice to do it.
What I've learned from being a part of the YAC is that people always have a choice. Even when you think you're stuck in something and you just have to deal with it, you don't have to take it. You can stand up for yourself and you don't have to be stuck somewhere. You always have a choice in the situation.
From the Youth Advisory Council, I would say that I've learned what unhealthy and healthy relationships are.
I've been able to learn a lot about the shelter itself, about domestic violence in general, and a lot about teen dating violence.
I stopped the violence, the verbal violence and stuff, by breaking up with him and just letting him go.
Those messages are exactly what the Youth Advisory Council wants to spread. Their PSA is called Legit. It's a fun, catchy name the council thinks will get other teens' attention.
They felt that that was a reflection on how they felt about healthy relationships, that real love and real healthy relationships should be legitimate.
It's not that we're trying to preach at them this is what you have to do in a relationship. It's that this is the healthier thing to do in a relationship, and even if you're not in the most abusive relationship. It can grow to be that, so you need to be aware of the signs of it. So it's important that people know that we need to spread that education to one another.
The shelter and the Youth Advisory Council know the power of peers and how using your voice can make a huge difference.
Well, I'd say a pretty premier way to use your voice to help end teen dating violence is by joining the Youth Advisory Council. Because in order to influence other people with our ideas, we need to actually share them, and you need to speak up to your friends if you see that they're in an unhealthy relationship.
Teens can use their voice to create social change, because when you have someone in a group of friends who's willing to talk about dating violence or healthy relationships, there can be a ripple effect that changes the entire community.
When teens use their voice to vocalize something that's important to them, usually friends will listen, and friends of their friends will catch on to it, and hopefully they take it and apply it to their own lives, so that one day we can start to decrease the abuse in relationships and hopefully one day eliminate it completely.
Love is legit!
You have a voice.
Use it!
That's all for today, readers. Be sure to catch up on all things Skyline by following us at Skyline Broadcasting. And to make sure you never miss an episode of your Skyline Scoop, you can sign up to receive mobile broadcasts by texting SKON to 8110 or visit us at skylinebroadcasting.org. I'm Liz Graciela with everyone here from Skyline News. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.